Welcome, Akwaba, Nangadev, Wagwan, Abaragani, and once again, welcome fam. I'm just so happy to welcome you to You Ain't Imagining This, where we see it, we name it, and we confront it together. This is our space to breathe, to tell the truth, and to remember that the chaos you feel out there isn't in your head. It's real. But so is our power. So is our peace. And so is our belonging. I'm Amma Robin, your sister-host and storyteller. And today, I want to take you somewhere special. Somewhere we built for us. YAIT Town. Today we will have our first visit to YAIT Town, our opening walk together. So what is YAIT Town? I'm glad you asked. YAIT Town is a Black sanctuary we built in story and in spirit. A place for safety, belonging, joy, and learning. Now YAIT Town is not on any map, but we found our way here together anyway, by intention and community. Tonight, we're taking a slow walk through YAIT Town. We'll go at an easy pace. We'll notice what's kind. We'll notice the details. We'll notice the big pictures. And we'll let the town introduce itself. If it helps, take a breath and loosen your shoulders. If your mind wanders during the tour, let it wander, and then let it come back when it's ready. You're safe here. You're among your people. So how are we going to do this? We're going to meet at the front porch, and then we'll drift past No More Books and listen for the soft clack of dominoes at the Umoja Café. We'll feel the garden air on our skin, maybe catch the rattle of a spray can at the mural, the hum of clippers at the Crown and Glory, and the lift of birds overhead with Mr. Kojo Fields, always keeping watch. Then we'll finish back at the front porch, where the porch light is always on. So stay close. Walk with me, you are welcome and you belong. You hear the music coming down the block? That's our cue. Let's go before it gets too dark. And you ain't imagining this. Hey y'all. Oh, glad to see you. Here we are on the front porch. I think it's the perfect place to meet to start this walking tour of YAIT Town. But I have to admit, I have to just take a breath because I look around and I just love the feeling of a porch. I love the comfortable seats and the stairs and the coziness and the openness of it as well. Hey, but let's not get too relaxed here because we're going to be leaving in just a minute. Okay, yes, that's right. I know it as the stoop too. Growing up, my great-grandmother always called this the stoop. Y'all sitting out there on the stoop? She would yell to me, and we would call back, yes, Big Mama, that's right. And I know others call it the veranda. There's the stairs, the stoop, the porch, different names for the same place and for the same feeling. Oh, like I said, don't get too relaxed there. It really is time to go now. How about if we take a deep breath together, just to settle in to the same energy. So, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Welcome to YAIT Town, everyone. Stepping onto YAIT Street, the main street of YAIT Town, the first thing I notice is the air. It's warm, silky, carrying the faint smell of what greens? Could that be true? Oh yeah, maybe drifting from the café. And so you smell it too. The barbecue, the smoke, the sharper barbecue smoke. And actually, I see it curling up from someone's backyard. And I think I know whose that is. Children's laughter is also bouncing off the houses, mixing with the bass line of a car. Look at it driving slowly down the block. See the driver taking care to watch for children playing in the street or for cats scurrying across it right now. I breathe in the sweetness of the late-blooming jasmine. No, actually, honeysuckle from a neighbor's fence. Again, I think I know whose that is too. And when I look up, the moon is already rising, soft and nearly full, like it's keeping a watchful eye over the town. The energy of the moon just moves me like nothing else. I knew it was almost full before I even looked up. I could feel its energy. I've had trouble sleeping lately, and that's usually a sign that the moon's getting fuller for me. But also because I've been more organized and productive. It's all a balancing act. But I digress. This is YAIT Town, where I felt the weight of stress pressing me down, and where I've also found the kind of joy that makes me throw my head back and laugh loud in the middle of the street. Here, peace and pain are allowed to live side by side. They have to. And here, too, we are whole, black and brilliant, ordinary and extraordinary, living all of it together. Let's keep walking. But let's take it slow and bright. We're family. We don't have to rush. Walking a little farther, I pass the corner where kids are chalking intricate designs on the pavement, and I stopped to look at them for a while, the designs. Today, it's a hopscotch that somehow turned into a whole solar system. And there it is, too. No more books. One of my happy places. And that's where we're going first. The front windows of No More Books glow soft and gold, like a lantern for the whole street. The scent of the new books and the old books spills out as the door opens, mixed with the whiff of incense that just will not be held back. Inside, I know I'll find Baldwin and Butler and bell hooks waiting like old friends. And I'll find newer voices too, like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Rennie Eddo-Lodge, because this store has always been about our past and our future. There's a tiny bell on the counter that people ring when a book finds them at the right time, and not the other way around. There's a corkboard near the door that says, "Words We're Saving," pinned with torn bits of paper and favorite lines. I love going to look at that. There's also a little basket labeled "Blind Date with a Book." Brown paper wrapped, hand-scribbled clues. Who can resist a mystery date with a book? I know I can't. And sometimes I think about how many times I've escaped into a book just to breathe, or how often I've come here carrying stress on my shoulders and then walked out lighter, stronger, ready to face the world again. Someone once said, "You're never alone with a poet in your pocket." And it's the same with a well-written and well-loved book, too. Let's stop for a second. Do you feel that hum of wisdom and joy mixed together? No More Books has never been just about books. It's about language as life. It's about safety It's about memory and stories. And it's about knowing that you are never alone with a poet in your pocket. I hate to say it, y'all, but I think we gotta keep moving along. I'm the same way. I love a bookstore. I love the feel of being around the books and to seeing people read and seeing people discuss books. I just love a bookstore. You all know that. But we really do got to move on. It's going to be here, and I promise we're coming back another time. So, from the bookstore, we cross over to the Umoja Cafe. Even before I reach the door, I can smell cornbread cooling on the counter and coffee beans roasting low and slow from the back of the store. And yes, I think this is where I smell the collard greens from. The bell over the door jingles as I step inside. Oh, and suddenly I'm wrapped in warmth, not just from the ovens, but from the people. Two women lean across a small table, laughing so hard they have to catch their breath. Oh, that is black joy. A group of elders sit near the window playing dominoes with a steady click and clack of tiles. I remember that, and from family reunions, those games, they may look calm, but they're anything but. There's a wall of matched Unity mugs donated by neighbors, and there's a tiny sign by the tip jar that says, "Ring if you laugh today." And I can tell you, it rings a lot. There's a bulletin board by the register called Friday Free Grits Roll Call. Folks just add their names for fun. Nobody really checks it. As much as I love grits, and y'all know I do because I make those things pretty clear, I am distracted by the domino game and the elders concentrating, smiling, and enjoying the friendly competition. Umoja Cafe is where I've had some of my most serious conversations about politics, about racism, about being exhausted. But it's also where I've had the kind of deep in your gut laughter that just heals you from within. That balance is what makes this place so sacred. The cafe is proof that resistance and rest can exist at the same table. When the owner mentioned to me that she wanted to name her dream cafe Umoja, I understood exactly what she had envisioned. And this is it. Umoja means unity in Kiswahili. And that's the energy that wraps itself around me when I approach the door. Unity, belonging, togetherness. I can see that others have the same feeling. Unity. As I leave the cafe, I stop and think, did I remember to put my name on the Free Friday Grits board? I'll have to go back and check later, or maybe they'll just trust me. I hate to tug everyone along, but we gotta keep it moving. Oh, I think I'm sounding like my grandmother, who always wanted to keep going forward. I would want to stay and look in windows of stores or sit down or just hang around. And she was always tugging at my hand saying, "Child, we really got to keep going. We don't have time. Going to have to go home and make dinner soon." I'm sure you've already had dinner, but we are going to keep moving. So just outside the Umoja Cafe, which I hate to leave, but we will be back, I notice a boy crouched low against the bodega wall, a spray can hissing in his hand. He's painting a mural, bold blues and deep oranges, a portrait of a black woman with her fist raised. His sneakers are dusty, his hoodie is a little too big, but his focus is sharp, and his skill is captivating. The shop owner slips him a bottle of water without a word. He doesn't look up, but I know he feels me and the others watching. There's a milk crate of extra caps and gloves at his feet labeled, "Your turn." And every week, a tiny gold star appears in one corner. Nobody admits to it, but we know what happens. And if you tilt your head, you can hear that rattle shake of the can. Just listen. That's a distinctive sound. That's tomorrow's color waking up, and I can't wait to see it. The air feels cooler as we turn towards the George Washington Carver Garden. This community garden is more than just rows of herbs and vegetables, but those are important. It's a living reminder that tending the soil has always been one path to Black freedom. A painted sign over the compost reads, "Black gold," because we honor what returns. A rain barrel carries names of elders in careful white paint. A hand-painted slate reads, "Name a plant day. Be nice." And a little seed library sits by the gate with the note, "Take 2, bring back 1." I'm going to try to resist that today, but I often do bring back 1. And it's an enriching feeling that fills my heart. George Washington Carver was the name the town selected for the community garden, and it just feels right. George Washington Carver taught the world that the land could heal itself if we cared for it, and his wisdom spread far beyond peanuts into a vision of renewal and dignity. Decades later, Fannie Lou Hamer carried that same truth when she built the Freedom Farm Cooperative, and she insisted that food justice was the key to survival. Booker T. Whatley expanded the vision, laying the foundation for community-supported agriculture long before it was a trend. And he even also aimed to generate an agrarian Black middle class. These are just names and missions that we never get to hear. I didn't learn about any of these in school. But in YAIT Town, we learn about them, we talk about them, we share them freely. Together, they all remind us that gardens are never just about food. They're about sovereignty, healing, and belonging. In this space, the soil itself speaks. Freedom is rooted. And I stop and breathe for a minute and catch that hint. I think it's honeysuckle again. That's a very distinctive, sweet smell. And it seems to just surround me. An elder sits just outside the community garden on a wooden stool, her hair wrapped in a patterned cloth, hands folded over her cane. She hums softly, a tune I have recognized from church, or maybe from something deeper than that. She nods at me, eyes steady, and her eyes say, "We've been here. We're still here." Then she goes back to her humming, the sound carrying like roots under the soil. I continue down the path. A chalkboard reads, "Bird of the Day, the starling, strong community values." A small basket of loner binoculars sits beneath it, kid-sized pairs included on top. There are bird bingo cards clipped to the fence. If you spot 3, Mr. Kojo pretends he didn't see and slips you a peppermint anyway. And further down the block, I see Mr. Kojo Fields leaning against the magnolia tree, binoculars resting in his hand. He tilts his head towards the sky, where geese are flying low, calling to one another in the cool night air. Mr. Kojo doesn't say much. He never has to. He just nods at me, like we share the same knowing, the same memory. And I think we do. And in that moment, I feel the steadiness of belonging. Listen close. You can hear the call and response overhead. And that's the sky reminding us that we do move together. This community garden is my space to feel and go within. Yet I'm always captivated by the history and the nature. I spend lots of time with Mr. Kojo. Even got my own binoculars to go birding on weekend mornings. I'm still looking for that sit spot for my birding. Mr. Kojo reminds me just to stop looking for it and let it find me. I nod my head respectfully to Mr. Kojo and leave the community garden behind. Next, we head towards the center of the block, and the sound hits me before the sight. Clippers buzzing, dryers whirring, laughter spilling through the open door. We have reached the crown and glory, the combination barber and beauty shop in YAIT Town. Did you hear those clippers, or the dryers, or the laughter? I did. And there's the neon sign out front, and it buzzes faintly, red and blue. And the windows glow with the warm light. Inside, it is bursting with life. Kids waiting on benches with capes still tied around their necks, elders swapping stories in the corner, stylists leaning close to twist braids tight while keeping up with the latest gossip. By the mirror, there's a Polaroid wall labeled First Cut, Fresh Style, and a jar that simply says lollipops. Yes, that's right, plural, too. A handwritten bracket on the wall tracks the weekly Spades champs. Yes, bragging rights are serious. On Mondays, there's a chalk list called Mixtape Picks. Everyone adds one song. By Friday, it's playing out loud while the last cuts and styles finish. Outside the shop, a man shakes paper bags of roasted peanuts over hot coals. The smell is sweet and smoky, and it's drawing a small crowd, including me. Across the street, a young woman strums a guitar, her voice rising over the hum of the block. The street itself feels like a concert. Music, peanuts, clippers, dominoes, all mixing into one. This town is so alive, so vibrant, so many sensations and sights. And, oh, there he goes, Melik, flying down the block, sneakers flapping and slapping the pavement, grin wide and eyes bright. His sketch pad held tightly in his hand. A pencil rides behind his ear, strangely staying in place. I wonder how long that's going to last, really. This is what joy looks like and feels like and sounds like when a child knows that he's safe. The street reads him right here. The peanut man angles his little charcoal grill so Melik can cut past. A stylist from Crown and Glory lifts a hand mid-twist, a quiet wave. On the front porch, where we are heading now, chairs creak and someone pats a knee like, there he goes. No one flinches. No one follows him with their eyes like a problem is coming. He's just a boy running home with a head full of ideas. And I think about the times outside of YAIT Town, those rooms and sidewalks where a young black body like his gets misnamed before he speaks, where a run is suspicious, where growing tall turns into grown, where the world puts weight on his shoulders he never asked to carry and shouldn't carry. That's the difference between a town that holds you and a place that makes you vigilant, scared. I take a deep, joyful breath and feel how the air stays easy as Malik passes the Umoja Cafe. I see somebody slides a corner of warm cornbread into a napkin for him for later. Malik doesn't slow down. He doesn't have to. Here, the town, the street calls him what he is: a child, an artist, our future. And I let myself smile and take one more step in the direction that he ran. Malik runs free. That joy is not an accident, it's a birthright. And it's a promise. And then at last, the ending of our tour, we reach the front porch. The light glows steady above, moths circling slow. Rocking chairs creak in rhythm. Voices float low and easy, and laughter drifts out into the yard where children chase each other with paper cups of sweet tea in their hands. Yes, some folks do call it the veranda because it reminds them of the islands or the continent. And I know it as the stoop where I used to sit outside for hours watching the world pass by. A little free library box sits by the steps. A small jar on the railing says, "Leave a blessing, take a blessing." There's a chalkboard by the door titled Friday Night Porch Playlist. 3 songs, always changing, and somehow always just right, just what I needed to hear. But here, whatever you call it, this place feels like home. Look, come closer. There's room. There's space for everyone. If you listen, you can hear tonight's first track winding through the air. And I climb the steps and someone shifts to make room for me. I don't have to explain myself here. No one asks me to shrink or to prove or to hide. I just sit. We all do. The porch holds us. The voices carry us. And we know without a doubt, we belong here. Come sit for a second and let's breathe. Let the night put a hand on your shoulder. This is why YAIT Town matters, because out there in white spaces we are questioned, doubted, erased. But here, every glance, every nod, every laugh is proof we're safe, we're seen, we're whole, and we matter. On YAIT Street, we hold stress and joy in the same hands because that's what it means to be alive and Black in this predominantly white space. We rest here, we rise here, and we remember that we are never, ever alone. So keep walking with me. There's more to hear, more to taste, more to remember tomorrow. You never walk it alone, and you ain't imagining this. I hope you've enjoyed this walking tour of YAIT Town, a place for us. When I first imagined YAIT Town, I was really imagining the place that I wish I'd always had. A place where I didn't have to prove that I belonged or justify my existence or prove my competence. A place where my Blackness wasn't a question. It was the foundation. I remember James Baldwin once said, "The place where I'll fit in will not exist until I make it." We're making it now. Before we leave tonight, I want you to hold this picture of YAIT Town close to you, close to your heart, because Black towns are not just a dream. They've been real. They are real. From Rosewood to Greenwood, from Nicodemus to Edenville, Black towns rose up as places of safety and commerce and culture and joy. Many of them were erased. They were burned and flooded, redlined, and more recently gentrified out of existence. But we can remember, and remembering is powerful because they want us to forget. YAIT Town can live in our minds and our hearts, but it also lives in our bodies when we laugh, when we rest, when we read, when we gather. This town can remind us that we are not alone, and that community itself is a form of resistance and a form of rest and a form of joy. And it's not only here in the U.S. Across the diaspora, we have maroon villages in the Caribbean, market towns across West Africa, and communities in Brazil and Suriname that held tight to freedom when the world tried to take it away over and over again. Our towns have been stretched across oceans. But this town is for us. But no, it's not just mine. It's yours too. It's ours. So I want to ask you, what would you like to see in YAIT Town? What would you like to feel or hear or experience in YAIT Town? What could this kind of town give you? And what might you bring to it? Because this isn't only about the past. It's about our present and our future. It's a reminder that no matter what happens outside these streets, we can still imagine and create, and we can still build spaces where we belong. This is only the beginning. Tonight we walk the street together, the YAIT Town Main Street, but maybe next time we'll step inside. In fact, next time we definitely will. We might help in the garden, or we might sit down with a banned book, or we might taste a warm piece of cornbread fresh from the oven. Or we could just sit on the porch, watching people pass by, talking and laughing the way our folks always have. Each place has a story, and we'll explore them together, one by one, and we're going to revisit them and build them and expand. I'm Amma Robin, and I'm so grateful to spend this time with you. And this is just our first walk. In the weeks ahead, we'll keep exploring these streets together, the stories, the voices, and the places that keep us whole. I don't know if you felt it, but I sure do. I feel like we've built something tonight, and not just in imagination, but in spirit too. So yes, next time we are going to go in one of these places and meet the people who keep them alive. But for now, take this feeling with you, this feeling of belonging, of peace, and of power. You never have to walk this alone, and you ain't imagining this. Asante Sana, thank you for being here tonight. One love, fam. See you soon.